Hi Flippers, it's Coach Nick here, and I'd like to welcome you to the first of an instructional series of videos that we'll be doing on our brand new YouTube channel. And these videos are dedicated to help you as the parent, and also as a swimmer, navigate our online world. So this first video we're going to do is going to investigate the process behind the meet sign up, and we're going to go over how to sign up for a swim meet with our club. So it's actually a fairly simple and intuitive process once you get down to it, but at first glance I know it can be perceived to be a little bit challenging, so that's why we're going to go over it today. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just open your web browser and go to Google, and then you're just going to type in Langley Flippers in the search box, and the first link that's going to come up should be our website. You're just going to click on that, and if done correctly you'll be brought to a page that looks very similar to this, albeit we are going to be making some further changes to the site in the near future, but it'll look fairly similar to this. You're going to want to find the section that says Swim Meets. You're going to want to hover your mouse over that section and then click on the drop-down box that says Meet Sign Up. So once you do that, you're going to be brought to a page that looks like this, and it's comprised of a table that consists of two columns. The first, on the left-hand side, is the meet column, and this just outlines the various meets that you have the option for signing up to. So you can see here we got Hands Across, Mission, Haney, Hope, etc. And then the column on the right indicates the status of the swim meet, and this will be determined by either a green check mark, which indicates that the meet is available for sign up, or a red X, which indicates that the meet is not available for sign up. So we're just going to go ahead here and let's say we want to sign up for the mission meet. So we're just going to click on the mission meet, and you'll be brought to a form, a Google form that looks very similar to this. Albeit sometimes the graphics will be a little bit different, the color scheme might be a little different depending on the meet, but it's going to look very similar to this. So right here you've got some important information right at the top about the meets that you'll want to go over. And you got our club logo, and then right here is actually the really important part. So right here we have our deadline for meet sign up, or for meet entries. And this deadline is always going to be subject to change, but it's really important that as a parent you do your best to rigorously adhere to this deadline. And the reason being is because if you sign up your swimmer late past the deadline, they're still eligible to participate in the meet, but you have to pay a late entry fee, or what's also referred to as a deck entry fee. And this fee can vary in price depending on the meet, anywhere between usually $5 to $8 per entry, per swimmer, per meet. So it actually adds up quite quickly, and if you're not careful, the cost can become quite substantial. So for example, let's say you're signing up your swimmer for 4 events in a swim meet, and they've signed up late. Now at this particular meet, let's say that it's $5 per event per meet, and so because you've signed them up for 4 events, you'd be having to pay $20 in order to have your swimmer participate in that meet. Now say if you signed up 2 of your swimmers late for a meet and they both wanted to participate in 4 events, well already that's $40 that you have to spend in order to sign up for that meet. So as you can see, the cost can really again become quite substantial very quickly if you're not careful in adhering to the deadline. So I'd advise that you just be really cognizant of the deadlines, be aware of them, and just really do your best to commit to them and just get those entries in on time. Okay, so this next portion of the document, quite simple. It's a section to input your swimmer's name, and it is actually a required section. You'll see if I try and hit next, I can't actually do that. So when you're submitting your swimmer's name, please be sure to include both their first and last name, as this provides a useful point of reference for us coaches to ensure that we are dealing with the right swimmer and signing them up for the meet. So let's say I'm going to sign up John Smith. So I'm going to hit the next button here. And now you're going to be taken to the option to sign up for Saturday events and relays. Okay, and you'll notice this is actually quite a large page with a lot of options. So I'm going to go through them, break it down for you. So it's really quite simple. For the first couple of meets that only consist of prelims, you're going to see two options here. You're going to have your quick sign up options right here, and then you're going to also have your custom sign up options right here. So you can really pick either of two options. You're going to pick either the quick sign up options, in which case you have to specify both the sign up for events and the sign up for relays. Or if you want to customize those events and relays, you can click here under the customize option to do so. So let's say I want to sign up my swimmer. John's going to sign up for no events on Saturday. But you know what? We figure, because we have the wedding in the mornings, but we figure we could probably attend the relay later in the afternoon. So then we're going to click all relays. We don't want to bother at this point because we've selected these options up here. We don't want to choose any of the options down here. So we're just going to go ahead and click next. And now it's going to bring us to the Sunday events and relays. And this Sunday actually, let's say we're actually able to attend all of the events and all of the relays. So we're going to click that on those. And then we're just going to click submit. And with that, we've received the registration and it's all done. Pretty simple. So now we're just going to go back here. John Smith. I'm just going to do that again, but this time we're going to customize our options a little bit. So, I mean, that's the simple way of doing things. This time we're going to customize. So, as you can see, instead of choosing these options, we're just going to skip down to this part under the or right here, where it says choose your events and relays. So, on Saturday, John wants to do the 50 free and the 50 fly, and he wants to do the relays. Now here you're going to notice that there's a box wherein you can place any additional comments that you might have. And so here it's important to note that you're going to want to include information that you believe to be relevant to the sign-up process of your swimmer. So for instance, let's say, hey coach, John has been feeling really sick lately, so he might not be able to attend all of his events. And this just keeps the coach informed, as to any complications that might arise in the sign-up process. And what I will advise here is that as long as you are signed up for events, the process to get you out of those events is a lot easier than, say, if you want to sign up for additional events at the last minute because you forgot to sign up for some events. So always, always, always over sign up for events. Okay, so now we're going to move on here. We're going to click the next button. Now we're brought to the Sunday events and relays. And again, for here, we're just going to say, let's see, John wants to do the 50 back and the 50 breast. We can't make the Sunday relays, and he really doesn't want to do the 100 freestyle. So here in the additional comments, we might just say we have to go to a family dinner in the evenings, and so we will be unable to participate in the Sunday relays. And this is actually another really important thing that I should stress here, is that relays at swim meets typically occur at the end of a meet. And so that could be anywhere depending on the meet and depending on how efficient it is run. That could be anywhere between 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., even 6 p.m. sometimes. Although rarely do meets extend past 6 p.m. But so it does occur late in the afternoon. So if you know ahead of time that you have prior commitments in the late afternoon over the weekend, please do not sign up for relays. It just makes our job as coaches a lot easier, because then we don't have to run around at the last second trying to find a substitute for a relay member that is unable to attend their relay towards the end of the day. It ensures that we can ensure as coaches that there are as many swimmers as possible on our relays, and that everyone is given an equal opportunity to compete and participate on our relays at swim meets. Because otherwise, if a kid last minute backs out of a relay, the rest of his team is affected by that, and the rest of his team may not be allowed to participate as a result. Because it is required that you have 4 members at all times on a relay. So that's just something to be cognizant of as a parent. Really understand as to what your schedule will look like over the weekend, and just let the coaches know, and make sure that your schedule too is also reflected in the sign-up. Okay, so now that I've selected all of his events for Sunday, at this point if I were to click submit, again, it would submit my registration and I would be all done. We're just going to go back one more time though. Okay, and we're just going to quickly go over what we have right here in these options. These are the 6 and under events and 6 and under relays. These events and relays only apply to swimmers that would be aged 6 or under prior to May 1st of any season. If you're unsure as to whether or not that applies to your swimmer, feel free to ask the coaches and they'll be able to tell you. But if you have a swimmer that is older than 6, please do not select these categories, either of these categories. But again, if you do have a 6 under swimmer, I would greatly appreciate it if you just did select these categories, as it makes my life a lot easier. And the reason for that, because I know there'll be some questions as to why 6 and under events aren't listed here. The reason for that is because 6 and under events are relatively inconsistent at swim meets. They get changed all the time. Meet managers are constantly coming up with new 6 and under events for them to participate in. Really, because 6 and unders, they're not quite sanctioned in the same way that other divisions are. And like they don't compete at the provincial level. And so there's not as much concern as to, whether or not a race will ultimately count towards a BCSSA sanctioned event in the long run. So quite frankly, most of the time clubs are always experimenting and creating new events for 6 and unders to partake in. But yeah, as I said, it's just really hard to be able to predict what events and relays 6 and unders will be subject to at each meet until really we receive the meet package. And sometimes we don't receive the meet package until a few days before, and by then the meet entries are already due. So yeah, so unfortunately, if you are a 6 and under parent, you don't have as many options available to you in that regard. But if you do have any specific event requests or any information that you would like to add to that matter, I do recommend that you put it all in that additional comments section, and then the head coach will be able to review it and will be able to work with your specified parameters. And we're done. So thank you so much for tuning in today, Flippers. Again, this has been the first of a series of instructional videos that we're going to be doing on our YouTube channel in order to raise awareness and educate parents on how to use our various online platforms, because they can be a little bit tricky to use at first. Okay, so once again, this has been Coach Nick providing you with a little instructional on how to sign up for a swim meet. Yeah, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Like us on Facebook. Yeah, well, I'll be putting the links to our various social media in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in.